Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Constantinide and I am an international human rights lawyer. So this video is about how, as an international practitioner, do you stay up to date? There's so many things happening around the world. How can you stay up to date? What do you do? So this is a 4-part answer, and stay tuned to listen to all those 4 parts in order to remain up to date if you're an international practitioner, or if indeed you're looking into entering this beautiful and endless field of international law. So part number 1. The first thing that you would want to do is to create a habit when you wake up, perhaps that's the way I do it, or maybe at night, that you go through main media platforms. So when I say main media platforms, it's essentially newspapers, online newspapers, but not just from one country. You would want to actually read, even if you read the headlines, from different countries. So that would give you an understanding as to what the headlines are in different regions of the world. And of course, with your education and your understanding and knowledge that you may have gathered through the years, then you will appreciate why each headline have made it to that particular newspaper. Or perhaps it could be very conflicting headlines. That again, it allows your legal thinking, your criticism, but to stay up to date what happens around the world. So just stay up to date and create the habit of reading the news. So that's number 1. Number two, if you are working in a particular area of law, I am doing international criminal law and human rights. So that means I've subscribed to certain newsletters and I get the case law that comes forward. So I would make sure that I get the digest form if I don't have time to go through the whole judgment, and to read what's new, to have a bit of understanding. And again, that's part of the habit that you do. You get your newsletter, you look at the case law, what's new, what's happening, and again, through the years, you're going to be able constructively to build that legal thinking and to be able to crystallize a way of approach that you would like to have when you are defending a legal argument that you may have. So that's the second part. The third part is something that I do. So this is, feel free, you may not be doing this every day, but something that you may want to look into it is to subscribe to various civil society websites and get the newsletter. So for example, I'm doing a human rights and international criminal law, so I'm interested in the field of human rights law, humanitarian law, and international commercial law. So I would subscribe, for example, to Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch Trial, Fair Trial, and different other foundations perhaps that they are dealing with the area of law that I'm working on. So I remain up to date and I understand what's there and what kind of bothers each and every NGO. And it could be different things at the same time. And again, that may have to do with politics. And the last part of to remain up to date is to actually once in a while just go through and visit the websites of the international courts. So if you get the websites of the international courts, you'll be able to read as to what's happening. For example, if you go to the International Criminal Court's website, you can look into the Assembly of State Parties of the ICC that happens once a year, and to get this information, you can extract those information and even attend those things yourself. And by attending those things yourself, then you can meet people, engage with people that are likely-minded, or perhaps not even likely-minded, but perhaps they're going to be able to challenge your legal thinking about certain things. Or you may even be able to get cases and work together with people. That's just a very small example that I'm referring to you. Or if you go to the ICJ, there's the Arbitration Academy, if you're interested in with arbitration, and there's so many things that's taking place. So those are the things that I would do to stay up to date, and it's a habit that I've created through the years with minimal effort, but nevertheless it gives me that ability to know a bit about everything. And yes, but then to do this, of course, if I may say it, that it goes without saying, like, you need to have the background information, so you do have an understanding, what's happening, which countries that are suffering from human rights violations, what are the politics. It it may not be the precise politics of every country, but you do have an understanding of it, and that allows you to really go through and stay up to date. And of course, the legal things that have been happening, so you know, what they're trying to introduce, why the crimes, for example, the Rome Statute crime, the Rome Statute and the Rome Statute crimes that are now in place, why they've been there, when they were created, what was the thinking behind it, the reasoning. So this is something that you already bring with you, and once you read those news, then there's different dots, let's put it that way, that I start to get connected. So yes, those are the things that I do as an international criminal practitioner to stay up to date. I hope you found this helpful, and since we may not be together to have a coffee, you can buy me a virtual coffee, and that way you're supporting the content of this channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye.